Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and I've been using the Google Pixel XL for about 72 hours now and want to give some further impressions than I gave during my unboxing video. I want to talk about some features of this device and also the design and of course that display. I want to go ahead and expand upon what I said in my unboxing video. I'll link to that down below if you missed it. But anyways, let's go ahead and give some impressions of the Google Pixel XL after 72 hours. To begin, let's talk about design of the Pixel 2 XL, and you'll see up at the top, it collects some smudges, fingerprints. It's just something I noticed. I've had to clean it, wipe it down a decent amount. Now you'll see the fingerprint scanner is on the back. It's in a perfect location for my finger, at least my hand size. And it's also extremely fast. So you just set it on there. You barely have to touch it and it will unlock your device. And on the front of the device, you'll see less bezel than the previous version. However, you'll notice maybe a little bit larger forehead and chin than that of other flagships out now, which I am totally okay with. I am so happy that Google went with front-facing speakers, stereo speakers, and you'll see one down at the bottom here and then up at the top as well. And overall quality has been very good. They definitely get loud enough, and once you have it all the way up, it doesn't really distort the sound too much. I've noticed that if I want to check the lock screen to press the power button, you have to move your thumb up just a little bit, or if your device is sitting on the table, you can quickly check it. Just double tap the screen and you can check that lock screen. So next I want to briefly talk about that display. So I mentioned in my unboxing video that there's a blue tint when viewing the screen at an angle. And this is a little more prominent than other devices out there. And I found that in real world use, I don't necessarily look at my phone at an angle a lot, and it's generally the white screen that really shows that blue tint. So overall, I find that it hasn't been too big of a deal for me. It shouldn't be happening, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't been that big of an annoyance, not as big as I thought it was going to be during my unboxing. And you'll also notice the colors don't necessarily pop as much as, say, a Samsung display, and Google actually did this on purpose, more real colors. However, you can actually enable the wide color gamut to make things pop a little bit more with an app called Oreo Colorizer. Now, this will actually drain your battery if you enable it all the time, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I will link to it down below. Essentially, this app will actually just enable the wide color gamut to make things pop a little bit more, but it just kind of shows you that it can be done, so it's not the biggest of issues, but Google does need to add an option to kind of customize the way your display is colored. Now, if I go ahead and hit start, I'm going to go ahead and go home, and here I'm going to show a close-up of the screen, just so you can kind of take a look at it and see for yourself. Now I'm going to swipe down and stop the colorizer, and I'm just going to edit out my swiping down and stopping so you don't see any difference. Okay, and I stopped it. So hopefully on camera you can actually see a bit of a difference. In real world you can see a little bit of a difference. Colors do pop just a little bit more. So other than that, I really haven't found any issues with the display, no screen burn-in for me, anything like that. And I believe Google actually increased their warranty to 2 years to give you a little bit more security when purchasing one of these devices. Next up, I want to talk about the Now Playing feature of the Pixel, and this has a lot of potential. So what happens is if it recognizes audio is playing, it will see if it knows what song it is, and if it does, it will show it up in your notification tray and even on your always-on display. I found that it takes about 30 seconds to recognize the song that's playing if there has been no other song previously recognized. And if there is a song already on there, it takes around 50 seconds to recognize the new one. And if you play a song, it recognizes it, and then you shut off that song, after about a minute, that will go away. So at the moment, Now Playing can recognize about 20,000 songs. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not really that many. It's a very good start. It's a really, really cool function to have on a phone because it happens to me all the time. I'll hear a song and say, oh, I wish I knew what this was. It's really cool to be able to look down at your phone and actually see it, but they need to expand that song list. Now, this is all done on your device. They don't send any data to the cloud. So overall, a very good start with Now Playing on the Pixel 2. And also worth noting, I have not lost my USB Type-C to 3.5 millimeter dongle just yet. Moving along, performance has been fantastic. Crazy quick. You can really tell the hardware is optimized for this software, so great job in terms of it running Oreo. Extremely fast. I haven't had any hiccups whether I'm gaming, heavy multitasking, and that's just for now. It's still a new device, so stay tuned for my full review. Be sure to click that subscribe button. So next I want to talk about Active Edge and squeezing the phone. So I'm going to go ahead and activate it. Hey, what's the weather going to be like tonight? And it gives you the weather. So this has been extremely useful. I use this function all the time. I'm really glad Google has incorporated it into the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL. However, if I jump into settings, to get to this setting, it's actually kind of a bit of a process. You have to go to apps, you have to go to advanced, default apps, assistant voice input, active edge. And I found that at the beginning, I had it set to the middle option of sensitivity of a light squeeze versus a firm squeeze. And every time I accidentally have activated it, I bumped it up a notch. So I kept accidentally squeezing it and activating Google Now or Google Assistant. And I'm at this point, and I've been at this point for a while now. So I think that is my sweet spot of how firm to squeeze it. But great that you can actually customize how firm to squeeze it to activate the Google Assistant. Now this goes kind of without saying, but charging on the Pixel 2 XL has been so quick. I don't want to talk about battery life just yet. I need a little more time with it, but charging has been so fast with the 18-watt power adapter, USB Type-C to USB Type-C connection. And I'm really only bringing this up because Apple decided to charge extra for something like this to have fast charging on their device. And it pretty much comes standard with any Android device out there now. Anyways, that's about it for now in terms of impressions of the Pixel 2 XL. Really enjoying my experience so far. Full review coming very soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe. Click that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.